Hey everybody, and welcome to a brand new bonus video. You know, if there's a video on Trains Are Awesome that's not scheduled, it's usually because there's some exciting train news, and boy do we have some exciting news today. So today is December 15th, and Amtrak is announcing more details on their new Intercity Trainset fleet. These Intercity Trainsets have been planned for a while to replace some of the Amfleet cars, and they're going to be built by Siemens, and today we received both a design and a name. So without further ado, I'm going to reveal what they look like. Here it is. As you can see, it looks very similar to the Siemens Chargers that are currently being delivered for long distance trains, but of course these are the Venture passenger coaches that we're seeing on Midwest routes as well as on Brightline in Florida. And I have to say, I love the blue and red color scheme. I'm so excited to see Amtrak transition to colorful trains rather than just tin cans. But let's get into the specifics. So these trains are going to be called the Airo. And if somebody knows the etymology of that word, I would love to hear it. I do think it's kind of funny that these new trains, which are going to be replacing the Amfleet 1, are called Airo, considering that it was actually the Amfleet cars that were designed to specifically resemble an airplane. So basically what the Amtrak Airo is going to be is it's going to be a locomotive with cars and a driving cab that function as a train set. Basically a large Americanized version of the railjet in Europe. Now, they're going to be used exclusively on daytime services, so there won't be any sleeper cars on these trains. And there are 4 variants. The B1 sets have 6 passenger cars behind a diesel Charger locomotive, and these have a pantograph on the passenger car closest to the diesel locomotive so that when they're running on overhead electrification, they can run in electric mode. It's a very unique way of having a dual mode train that I've never actually seen before. Now, the B2 sets are going to be similar, but instead of 6 passenger cars, it's 8 passenger cars. The 8-car sets will be used on Northeast regional services, including trains into Virginia, while the 6-car sets will be used on trains like the Palmetto, Carolinian, Pennsylvanian, and Keystone Service, all daytime trains. And what's convenient about this is that they can just keep on going once the electrification stops. There's no more need for a locomotive switch. The B1 sets will also be used on the Downeaster. Even though that route doesn't have any electrification, it's just easier to have a pool of trains in the Northeast Corridor area so you can swap out a train whenever. Now, the C series are very similar. They also have electrical equipment in the first car. They're 6 cars long, but these have batteries instead of pantographs, and these will be used on trains using the Empire Corridor between New York City, Albany, and points beyond. Now, the reason these trains will have battery packs is because Amtrak usually tries to avoid running diesel trains in the tunnels around New York Penn Station, so currently their trains have third rail shoes, but in the future I guess they're going for batteries. Now, the D sets are exclusively diesel train sets, so a diesel locomotive and non-powered cars behind, and these are going to be used on the Cascades service in Washington and Oregon, so very far from the rest of the trains. Now, the Airo sets, of course, are just a Siemens Charger locomotive and Venture cars. Amtrak already has Venture cars operating in the Midwest, and while this isn't really a complaint I share with most people, I have heard a lot of people say that the seats on the Venture cars are not very comfortable. So if we look at the artist's impression for the new seats, it looks like they will be better than what's on the Midwest trains, which is good because these trains will run for quite a few hours on end. The first Airo sets are scheduled to be delivered in 2025, and I'm sure I'm not the only one to say that I absolutely cannot wait. Thank you so much for watching today. Please subscribe to Trains Are Awesome for more train-themed content like this. We'll see you next time.